Hello everyone, welcome to the Mercury Virtual. Hope you are doing good. Today I am going to continue with your same module, that is the business skills for e-commerce, and the chapter number 14, that is the same chapter, that is the corporate digital library. We have started this chapter in the last class and we have finished I think approx 6 to 7 topics in the last class. Now I'm going to start with a new topic, that is today in today's class I'm going to start the new topic, that is the next part, that is a continue of the chapter number 14, that is a preservation part of the digital or corporate digital libraries. And today is the last class for this module, that is the business skills for e-commerce, and in the tomorrow's class I am starting with a new module, that is a C++ programming. As we already done with the C programming, that is a procedural programming. Now I'm moving to the next module, that is your object oriented programming, that is a C++. So this is a new module that I am going to start with the tomorrow's class. So let's continue with the today's session. Let's continue with the last class session, what we have covered in the last class, then move to the today's topic. So let's start the session. In the last class we have discussed what is the meaning of corporate digital library, and what is the content, that is what is the crux of this chapter, what are the various contents, what are the various topics in this chapter. That includes the objective, introduction, definition, benefits, issues and challenges, then what are the requirements what are the requirements of the digital libraries, then cost of digital library, what are the types, corporate data warehouse, Indian scenarios, summary, keyword, then there are self-assessment questions, and there are suggested reading. So these are the few topics that we are or I'm going to cover in the today's class, that is finish of the today's class, that is the today's topic. So let's start with the previous session. In the last class we have started with the objective, that is what is the main objective of the corporate digital library. That means automate or collect multiple things together in a library that is in digital form, that is available in the digital form, that is known as the digital library. That is a collection of the things in a one place or at a one place that is in digital form, so that anyone can access that, that is known as the digital library. So this introduction is just what is the use of digital library, or why we are using the digital library, or what is the role of digital library, or with the arrival of computer, what is the new concept that is available in storing or gathering the information, that is repository in the information, that is gathering the information. So this says the idea of easy fingertip access to information, what we conceptualize as digital libraries, today begin in 1949 and have continued to evolve with each advance in information technology. That is, there are new concepts, there are new technologies that is available in digital libraries, and with the arrival of the computer there is a new enhancement in compiling the information, in getting the information, in storing the information that is stored in a library, that is known as the digital library. So when computers were connected into a large network forming the internet, the concept evolved again, and that becomes, or that creates, the libraries of digital information that could be accessed by anyone from anywhere in the world. That is, there is no limit that I am not able to gather my information, or I am not able to access my information from my place, that is from my company. No, that is not an issue. But we can gather the information, we can gather the digital information that can be accessed by anyone from anywhere in the world. And we are also, we know the digital library as the virtual library, electronic library, library without walls, and more recently digital library. So we can call anything that is known as, or we can call anything that is known as the virtual library, digital library, library without walls, and more recently digital library. And after going through this lesson, you are able to understand these concepts that we have discussed, that what are the concepts of library, that is digital library, what are the various benefits, issues, challenges, justify the various requirements of digital library, and various types of digital document libraries in the India, or explain various type of digital documents in the digital library. Then we have discussed about the introduction, that is the introduction about the digital library, that is why there is a need for the digital library. So that is the introduction. So this is that says When thousands of people read any government report on the internet, they retrieve the document from a major repository of government publication. That is, when thousands of people and when number of people read any government report on the internet, gather multiple report on the internet, they retrieve the document from a major repository of government publications. That is, if at the same time more than one person or a large number of persons wants to gather the same information, they gather that information only from the internet. And when there is a collection of these information over the internet, that is known as a digital library. So the balanced collection of information that meets a particular selection criteria, that is known as a digital library. And finally, there is effective retrieval of information is not guaranteed. So according to the Lynch, what Lynch said, that this digital library is the collection of all the information into a one place, that is a centralized location of the information or centralized gathering of information, so that anyone can access from anywhere in the world. In short, net is not a digital library. That is, internet is not a digital library, but over internet there is a concept, there is a thing that is available over the internet, that is known as the digital library. Then just-in-time library, that is a just-in-time library. What is just-in-time library? That is available 24 hours a day, 7 days in a week, that is known as just-in-time library. That is, at any time we can gather the information, at any time we can access the library, that is a just-in-time library or just-in-case library. Then in the last class we have also discussed about the definition of digital library, that is, what is the definition of digital library. And there is so much confusion about the definition of digital library, because most people think that this is a digital gathering, or there is a digital gathering of the information, that is a digital library, and some think that this is the electronic library, virtual library concept. So that is, there are different concepts, there are different confusions among the various phrases, among various factors. Now, what are the various factors that affect the digital library? First of all, the library community has used several phrases over the years to denote this concept, that is known as the electronic library, virtual library, library without walls, and it never was quite clear with which each of phrases that is meant. That is, some people talk about this as an electronic library, some talk about this as a virtual library, some says library without walls. Digital library is the most common phrase that is used in the literary scenario, that is used in the conferences, online, and in the literature. Another factor that is used, that is, there is a confusion among the focal points of various areas of research, that is, what are the contents that is available in the digital libraries, whether it's a huge database where all the information are stored, or it's an application of the web. So these are the various factors, that is the next concept that makes a confusion in the minds of the people. And another fact is that there are different approaches, there are different people that is used, that they think that everything is available on the internet, that is known as the digital library. So this says another factor arises from the fact that there are many things on the internet that people are known as the digital library, which from a librarian point of view are not. For example, computer scientists cannot gather the information, cannot take the information from the digital library. So digital library is not suitable for the computer scientist and the software developer, because software developer cannot approach for the digital libraries, because the softwares like C, C++, high level of programming languages, programming software are not suitable with the, or not gathering, or not compatible with the digital libraries. And it is also not suitable for the database vendors or commercial document suppliers, and also for the large corporation, because there are so many information that is used to store in the digital library, that is also not okay for the digital libraries. So there is so much confusion from the librarian point of view, that this is not suitable in most of the cases of the application area, or in 2 or 3 areas of the digital library. A fairly speculation example of what many people consider to be digital library today is the World Wide Web. That is not the correct thing. That is, digital library is not www. The web is a gathering of thousands and thousands of documents. Many would call this huge collection a digital library because they can find the information. Therefore, in examining the various aspects of what is called a digital library, appears that librarians have been confused about what a digital library. That is, the word library has been appropriated by many groups to describe either their areas of research or signifying a simple collection of digital objects. That is, most of the people have a confusion about the digital library. That is, what is a digital library and how it is used as a digital library. So, in simple terms, digital library means a collection of the information in a centralized location so that anyone can access that information in a consistent manner. That is, from anywhere in the world at any time by using any technology. And many corporations are finding that the most effective way to manage their business information is through a corporate library that provides the architecture to model, map, integrate, condense and transform scattered information housed in a digital document. So many corporations find that digital library is a better way or the effective way to manage their business information because it provides the architecture to model, to map, to integrate, to condense and to transform scattered information. Now, today, the digital library is also used as a generic term for diverse information structure that provides organization and workers access to the vast amount of internal information that is encoded in multimedia formats. So nowadays, the term digital library is widely used as a generic term that is used for the diverse information structure that provides the various access or the vast access of the internal information that is encoded in a multimedia formats. It creates a unified repository of consistent business data for information processing. Companies can perform more substantaneous, accurate and consistent analysis using the digital library that most and most persons are using, or most and most companies are also performing the various accurate results and their analysis part using the digital library that is used as a foundation for the decision support system. Next, the digital library is not a monolithic entity but a loose collection of distributed online information source, databases and electronic document that is organized in a meaningful way. So digital library is a loose entity or a entity that provides a loose collection of distributed online information that is accessed by anyone. And then digital libraries of two types that we have studied, that is electronic document based digital library and structured data or database oriented warehouses. So this is of two types. One is electronic document based digital library, one is a database oriented warehouses. Now what is document digital library, that is what is the electronic digital libraries, that is that is based on the document processing and management has emerged from obscurity to challenge the traditional notions of business data processing. That is document processing, and whenever there is a usage of the technology, whenever there is an advancement of the technology, for example digital documents like word processing, spreadsheets, CD-ROM, audio recording, digital video and others, the rate for the digital documents are quite increasingly. And from an electronic commerce perspective, a document digital library is simply a distributed network of interlinked components that is tailored for electronic publishing. So from e-commerce point of view, if I say that it is from the, or it is related, how it is related to e-commerce, so a digital document library is a distributed network of interlinked information. That is distributed network means there is a common information that is linked together, that is interlinked information that is linked together, that is used for the electronic publishing. Then next form of data, the digital library is data warehouse. That is it is also or in this the data will be collected at a one place that is known as warehouse. So data will be collected at a one place that is known as the warehouse, that is designed as a central information repository for combining and storing vast amount of historical and references data from a number of sources. So why it is known as warehouse? So what is warehouse? It is just a collection of information. So data warehouses are designed as a central information repository for combining and storing vast amounts of historical and reference data. That is combining or repository, that is a database for combining and storing vast amount of, that is a huge amount of historical and reference data from a number of different sources, that is from a number of various sources. So these corporate data house should include mainframe databases, client server relational databases, spreadsheet, text report, flat files, and the proprietary system. So there are so many databases that is also known as the data warehouse. A data warehouse is simply stated is a physical separation of an organizational operational data system from its decision support system. That is, it is a physical separation of the organizational operation data system. That is how organizations is performing or how organizations are operating. That is the organization's operational data system, or it is simply a separation from the operational data system. It includes a repository of information that is built using data from the far-flung and often departmentally isolated systems. So whenever there is a requirement to build the database or data warehouse that allows the companies to optimize the query time, that is decreases the query time, then what are the benefits of digital library? That is, what are the various benefits that is provided by digital library? First of all, the major benefits that the digital library brings the library to the user. That is, user have not to go to the library for searching anything or for searching the information. No, the digital library is available to the user at their doorstep. That is available to the user at their doorstep. That is available in the various forms. Either it may be an e-form, that is an electronic form. Either it may be a internet form, that is a internet-based form, network-based form. So the main first advantage, that benefit, is that the digital library brings the library to the user. Then next is computer power is search or used for searching and browsing. With the use of digital libraries, because everything is in digital form, so that is used for the searching and the browsing. That is, we can search, we can browse anything from anywhere or anything anywhere from any time in the world. So computer power can be used to find the information. Paper documents are convenient to read, but finding information that is stored on paper can be difficult. Then next is information can be shared. That is, the same information can be shared, or the information can be shared with the use of digital library. So first advantage is that the library is available to the user at their doorstep. Second advantage is that information can be shared. That is, the same information can be shared to multiple receivers, to multiple users. Then computer power, that is a computer technology, is used for searching and browsing the information. Then information is easier to keep current. That is, information is very easier to keep the current. That is, in digital library, that is a very easy process to update the information. So if there is any updation, if there is any announcement, if there is any change in the policy rules, so the information is easier to cope up, or information is easier to upload it on the digital library. So this says information is easier to keep current. That is a new concept. That is the next part. That is, information is easier to keep the current. That is, information can be easily updated. Then the information is always available. That is, there is no hard and fast rule that the information is not available, but at every time it is available on the internet, whether may be a past information, that is a traditional information, whether may be a different information, but the information is available at every time. That it is always available. So this is the main point, that is, the doors of the digital library will never close. Next, new forms of information become possible. That is, we can use multiple methods, multiple application, multiple tools that is used to upload the information. That is, we can gather the information into a Word, Excel, that is any application we are using, then use that application to upload the information, or upload the data, or upload the file into the digital library. Then next is, what are the various issues and challenges in digital library? That is, what are the challenges that is faced by using the digital library? So this is the point, that is the functions of author, publishers and vendor will vary. So it depends on the person who is using the digital library. That is the very challenging phase for the authors, for the publisher who wants to publish, who wants to collect, who wants to disseminate the organization work. Then next issues is that only digital information is disseminated. Some are produced locally and most information is obtained by remote access. That is, only the digital information is disseminated. All other information are not disseminated, whether it may be available online, whether it may be available locally, whether it may be available in a remote access. Next challenge is that user only locate the information. Information is not usually structured. No rules or codes are followed. That is, users can only locate the information. Information is not usually structured. No rules or codes are followed, and no one to control the information. Then next point says the data or information will be of different type. That is, the data or information that is gathered will be of different type, will be of different usage. To organize with these data or information, we require cataloging practice, and it calls for an appropriate data model for organizing data with standard format. Then specialized technologies are needed for compressing as well as for organization of information. That is, a specialized technology or the special techniques are used or needed for compressing the things. This is also a challenge. That is, it is not that we are simply uploading the information on the digital library. No. So there are various techniques, various compression techniques that will be used to upload the information. So specialized technologies are required, are needed for compressing the data to be uploaded on the digital library. So that also increases the cost for an organization. Then these are the that is also the next issue, that is the various issues and various challenges. So the next issue is technical architecture. That is, for using the digital library, there is a requirement of the digital things. There is a requirement of the technology. For example, LAN, high-speed bandwidth, high-speed network, digital formats, variety of web servers such as web server and FTP server. Then next is your building digital collection. That is the next issue, that is also a major issue. That is, the major issue is how to collect the various information into a centralized location. So this is one of the largest issue in creating digital library will be the building of digital collection. That is, how to build the digital collections. Obviously, for any digital library to be viable, it must eventually have a digital collection with the critical mass to make it truly useful. There are essentially three methods of building digital collection. So what are the three methods? How to build the digital collection or how to collect the data? One is digitization, one is acquisition of digital original digital works, and next is access to external materials. These are the three methods, or these are three forms of building the digital collection. So digitization, acquisition and the access to external materials. And these are the various points by which how we can, or how a specific material to be given by, or how we can collect the material that is based on the various factors, so that the different information is available at the different blocks at the different levels in the digital library. So what type of factor that is affecting the digital libraries? One is collection strength. That is, the collection strength means there is a collection strength means main focus on adding the new digital library, that is how to new digital libraries or how to work on the digital libraries. Then unique collections. That is a when collecting the data, that should not be that the same data will be repeated again and again. No, but the data will be unique, or there is a unique collection of the data. Then priorities of user community. That is, the information that is stored on the digital libraries, this also depends on the user or priorities of user communities. That is, what the user needs, that is the priority that is used for the user community. So such priority will justify holding the material locally. For example, because of the demands of a curriculum. Then manageable portion of collections, that if I want to upload the information in the digital library, that is a 4 GB. but my digital library blocks is only for 2 GB. So how is that possible to store the data? So that is not manageable on the hard disk, or that is not manageable on the digital library. So this is also one of the major thing that is taken care of, that the manageable portion of or portions of collections. Then next is technical architecture. That is technically it is also strong. That is a technical architecture that supports a particular digital collection. Then skills of staff. That is the staff is also required to handle each and every information for uploading, for digitization, for anything. Then we have studied about the digitization. That is the primary goal of digital correction. That is how to build the digital data, or how to collect the digital data, that is known as digitization. And then metadata, that is also known as data about the data. So metadata is another issue that is central to the development of digital library. So metadata is a very crucial issue that is very central, that is very common to the digital library. So metadata is the data that tells about other data. So it is data about the data. So metadata is the data that describes the content and attributes of a particular item, of a particular data in the digital library. So whatever the content that is stored in digital library, and if I want to get the information about that content, that is done, or that is also used, or that describes the content of a particular item in a digital library. It is a concept that is familiar to the librarian, because it is one of the primary things that the librarian do. They create catalog records that describes the document. Metadata is important in digital library because it is the key to resource the discovery and use of any document. Then next issue is what is the name of the document that is to be uploaded on the digital library. How to identify that document, that is naming, identifiers, and persistent, that is how to persist, that is what is the IBN number or ISBN number that is used in the library. So that is also the major issue that is available, that is related to the metadata. So that are needed, that is the names, identifiers, or persistence are needed to uniquely identify digital objects for purposes such as citations, information retrieval, to make the links among objects, and for the purposes of managing copyrights. Then next is your copyright right management. That is a copyright issue is also one of the issues that is present in the digital library. That is which paper document, or what is the copyright, or from which the copyright will take care of the digital documents or digital library documents. Some rights management functions could include like usage tracking, identifying and authenticating users, providing the copyright status, handling the transactions. Then next issue that is available is the preservation. So this is another important issue is preservation, keeping digital information available in perpetuity. That is the information should be secure. That is the information must be secure so that it cannot be hacked by any one person. So preservation is the next thing, and it is one of the major issue that is available, that is the preservation. So in the preservation of digital material, the real issue is technical obsolescence or obsolescence. That is a this is the preservation of, that is a major issue that is available. That is a real issue that is available is a technical obsolescence. That is a techniques, tables, tools that is outdated, that is not issued. So in order to preserve, the real issue is that the techniques will be outdated. So technical obsolescence in the digital era is like the deterioration of paper in the paper age. Libraries in the pre-digital era has to worry about climate control and the de-acidification of books, but the preservation of digital information will mean constantly coming up with new technical solutions. That is, preservation of digital information means coming up with a new technical solution, coming up with the new techniques, so that the solution will be made on the technical based. So coming up with the new technical solutions. And when considering digital libraries or digital material, there are three types of preservation one can refer to. That is, there are three kinds of preservation that is used. That is, how to preserve, or what are the three methods to preserve the digital material, to preserve the data on the digital libraries. What are the three methods? What are the three types? The first one is preservation of storage media. That is the first one. That is how to preserve the storage media. Now, what is storage media? My question is, so the question answer is, tapes, that is magnetic tapes, hard drives and floppy drives have a short time period and that are known as the first of all storage media. They have a very short lifespan when considered in terms of obsolescence. The data on them can be refreshed, keeping the bits valid, but refreshing is only effective as long as the media are still current. The media that is used to store digital material becomes obsolete in anywhere from 2 to 5 years before they are replaced by the better technology. So media that is used to store the digital material become obsolete in anywhere from 2 to 5 years. Yeah, this is correct. This is a valid point. That is, a media that is used become obsolete, because whenever I use the hard drive, whenever I use the magnetic tape, that becomes obsolete, that becomes outdated within a 2 to 5 years. Over the long term, materials stored on older media could be lost because there will be no longer have the hardware or software to read them. Because everything is outdated, everything becomes obsolete. So there is a need to preserve the things, to preserve the material, to preserve the storage capacity. Therefore, libraries will have to keep moving digital information from storage media to storage media. That is, moving digital information means that the information is not still at one point in the storage media, because that is a technique, that is a tool. So that is that have to be updated, that have to be replaced, that have to be transformed from one information to another information. So preservation is also one of the storage media preservation is also one of the major issue that is considering in the digital library. Then preservation of access to content. That is how to access the content. That is the next part. That is the preservation of access to content. This form of preservation involves preserving access to the contents of documents regardless of their format. While files can be moved from one physical storage media to another, what happens when the formats like Adobe Acrobat PDF containing the information become obsolete? That is, what is the content, or what is the solution when the application, or when the formats that is available to store the information, or for example one of my format, that is a PDF format in which the data is stored, that becomes obsolete. That is a major problem, because my file is in PDF form, but my PDF software has been obsolete. So what's my issue? That becomes obsolete. So one solution is the data migration. Sorry. Data migration means translating the data from one format to the another, preserving the ability of users to retrieve and display the information content. That is, provide the ability of the users, or provide the ability to the users to retrieve the information, because now the data is transformed from one format to another. For example, PDF to the Word format. So now easily the data can be fetched, the data can be easily available, or the information can easily available or can be uploaded over the digital library. However, there are some difficulties to migration is very costly. The main reason of what are the various difficulties, then migrating the data or changing the format is very difficult, is very costly. So first of all, and the distortion or information loss is eventually introduced every time data is migrated from format to format. That is, the data will become outdated, or there is a distortion, that is a noise, whenever the data is migrated from one part to another part. Next is, the bottom line is that no one really knows how yet how to best migrate digital information. Even if there were adequate technology available today, information will have to be migrated from format to format over many generations, passing a huge and costly responsibility to those who comes after. That is no one really wants to migrate the best data or the digital information, even if there were adequate technology, or even if there are adequate information that is available over the internet. Next is preservation of fixed media material through digital technology. This is the next point, that is the next preservation. That is preservation of the fixed material or fixed media material. So the information that is available on the fixed media can also be preserved, because that is the main point, or that is the main content that is available. For example, ROM, that is a read-only memory, in which the data is permanent. So it is also essential to preserve the fixed media material, because there are no common standard that is available that is used for the digital media as a preservation media, and it is used for the long-term preservation. Digital preservation standards will be required to consistently store and share materials preserved digitally. So digital information standards will also be required, will also be used to consistently store and share the material preserved digitally, that is used for preserving the material, for storing the material in a digital format. What can libraries jointly do in a coordinated scheme? So whenever the data is collected in a one material, whenever the data is collected in as a fixed material, so what are the various libraries, or what are the various methods that are jointly coordinated, or that are jointly do in a coordinated scheme? First of all, it creates the policies for long-term preservation, creates the rules regulation for the long-term preservation. Then ensure that redundant permanent copies are stored at a designated institutions, that there are multiple copies that is stored, so that if the one data is lost, so we can gather another data. Then help establish preservation standards to consistently store and share material preserved digitally. That is, whenever the libraries are coordinated, or whenever the libraries are properly coordinated, properly used, that also helps to establish the preservation standard. It is easy to preserve the data, preserve the standard, to consistently store and share the material, and preserve the data digitally. Now next is, what are the requirements of digital libraries? That is, what do we require in a digital library? So this says digital library requires well-tested and proven information technologies, including the multimedia kit. That is, if I am asking you a question, what is the requirement of digital library? So your answer is any technology that is related to the computer. So all the technology that is related to the digital era, that is known as that is the main requirement of the digital libraries. So much of the work in digital libraries is achieved through email service, that is the usage of the usernet. That is the email is one of the tool that is used, that is one of the major requirement in the digital library, that is the email. Locally developed databases will contribute a lot to develop digital libraries. In other words, the components of digital libraries are. So what are the various requirements, or what are the various components of digital libraries? First is local library system. Local means there will be a local library system that is used with adequate PC having LAN, local database in machine readable form, CD-ROM, etc. to provide email service, access to servers, and to remote databases. So there will be or what are the various requirements, what are the various components, that is a local library system. Then next requirement is that networks, including the network of networks. That is, there will be a requirement of the networks that includes the network of the networks. Then a variety of system functions to coordinate, manage, and to retrieve the data. That is a variety of system function that is used to coordinate, that is how to coordinate, how to manage, and how to retrieve the data in the digital libraries. Then well-trained manpower. Yeah, this is the main. That is the well-trained manpower, that is the persons are required to upload the data, to update the data, to delete the data. So up-to-date manpower or the high-skilled manpower are required for in the digital library, to create the digital library, to format the digital library, to manage the digital libraries. Now, next is cost of digital library. That is, what is the cost, or what is the main benefit that is provided by the digital library is cost only. So, what type of cost is involved in the digital library? This is the final potential benefit of digital library is the cost. That is the main benefit that is available is the cost. This is a topic about which there has been a notable lack of hard data, but some of underlying facts are clear. First of all, conventional libraries are expensive. Why they are expensive? First of all, they require expensive building. So for creating or for establishing a library, there will be a requirement of the expensive library, because if the library is not on the good side, so no one can go to the library, and they are fully equipped with the ACs, with the various tools like tube lights and so on. So that becomes various tools that added the various expenses to the libraries, convention libraries. So there are lots of course that is required in the convention library. Next, today digital libraries are also expensive, initially more expensive. However, digital libraries are made from components that are declining rapidly in price. But there are so many cores that is also used, so that also declines the cores that is available in the digital library. So when I compare the traditional library to the digital library, the cost of the traditional library is higher than the digital library. The cost is much higher in the digital library. Then lower long-term costs are not necessarily good news for existing libraries and publishers. In short term, the pressure to support traditional media outside or alongside new digital collection is heavy burden on the budgets. That is, there will be heavy burden on the budget that is also available, that is used in as a heavily burden on the people organization, because most of the people and organizations appreciate the benefit or uses the benefit of online access and the online publishing. Publishers face difficulties because the normal pricing model of selling individual items does not fit the cost structure of electronic publishing. Much of the cost of conventional publishing is in the production and distribution of individual copies of books, photographs, videotapes, or other artifacts. So much of the cost of conventional publishing that is used in the production, distribution of individual copies of books, photographs, videotapes, or other artifacts. The fixed cost of creating the information and mounting it on a computer may be substantial, but the cost of using it is almost zero. Now, next is, what are the various types of digital document? That is, what are the various types that is used in the as a digital document? So this says the emerging spectrum of document types ranges from the inflexible, that is in the imaging format, to the more flexible or customized, that is a virtual document. That is what type of document that is range or that ranges. So it ranges from the inflexible to the most flexible or customizable. So it ranges from the inflexible to the flexible. Inflexible means that is the image format that cannot be flexible, and flexible means that is a virtual document that is a customizable. In the first part of document continuum, content is treated as a monolithic whole. Not until the second part does the structure of content become more important. In the third part, content is not assumed to be in one place but distributed on the network. And finally, document become more flexible, they need to become smarter. So what are the various types of digital document, that is what is the main advantage, or what are the various document that is used? So the main point is that digital documents provides a framework for managing all the different piece data and application that are present. So it is possible to manage all the different pieces data, all the data that is used as an application, that is used as a different pieces and applications that are present. That is, it provides a framework, it provides a pattern, it provides a block, it provides a platform for managing all the data, all the different pieces data and applications that are present. Then next is document imaging. That is the next part, one of the major digital document, that is the document imaging that emulates microfetch and the microfill. An imaging system passes a paper document through a scanner that render it digital and then store the digital data as a bitmapped image of the document. So imaging system means a paper document, that is a paper document that is used as a paper document through a scanner that is used, that is a image document imaging, that is take the image from the document and passes to the various scanning, that is scan the documents and upload it on the digital libraries. And without a specific well-designed list of keywords, a large libraries of image document would be created but not used effectively. So if I'm simply uploaded the scanned document without giving any detailed information, so that is also not a good or the well-designed list of the keywords. This class of documents is characterized by little or no formal internal structure and provides limited freedom to use documents in a non-sequential. Now, what are the various imaging? What are the various standards? What are the various file format that is used or that is commonly used in the digital library? So one of the format is TIFF, that is a TIFF, that is a tag image file format. That is a TIFF, that is a format for interchanging of the bitmapped images. That is the first file, that is the first format that is used, that is a TIFF, that is a tagged image or the tag image file format. That is the image for interchange of bitmap images. Then it was developed through an industry effort initiated by Elders Corporation and has achieved de facto standard or de facto standard status. That is, a TIFF is also used for the bitmap images and it was developed from the industry point of view, that is initiated by the Elders Corporation and achieved the de facto standard status. The next is ITU TSS, that is International Telecommunication Union Telecommunication Standardization Sector. This is also a standard, that is also a tool or also a format that is used for compressing the things and exchange of data in a bitmap format. Then next is structured document. So one is document imaging, next is structured document that is in a structured form. A significant breakthrough in document management occurred when people realized that the document structure provides a clear description of the document content. This important advance in electronic document manipulation goes by the name of the structured document. Structured document apply database structuring capabilities to individual documents. That is, a structured document means uses the database structured document capabilities to individual documents and document collection to allow tools to communicate or to manipulate document content, just like fields within database tables. Structured document provides the following capabilities. So what are the various capabilities that is provided by the structured document? First of all, document formatting and rendering suit information, different information delivery vehicle or media. That is, document formatting is easier and rendering suit is easier whenever we use the structured document. For example, companies are beginning to give their customers CDs and containing electronic manual in addition to providing hard copy material for those who prefer the more traditional. That is, most of the companies are providing, whenever there is a new employee that is joined, so they prefer to give the hard copy as well as the soft copy in the CD format. Next is the ability to create easily modified structure also allow more dynamic documents and user interaction and manipulation, such as the ability to create bookmark, highlight text and write the notes. In other words, documents are no longer stagnant but can be edited, cross-referenced and linked to other documents such as graphics, video, photo or voice script. Next, third is given the right structure and interface, electronic document can be easier to search and query than its hard copy counterpart. This is one of the important points. If the information is properly stored over the digital library, so this provides or this electronic documents can be easier to search and query than its hard copy counterpart. Multiple words, that is Boolean and string searches, are most often used or more used to locate and retrieve the information, either as a part of the document or the entire document itself. A large array of standards and products are available to help create and manage the structured document. It depends on the document structure architecture, that is the ODA, RTF, CDA. Then if the document structure are of paramount, then we use the SGML, that is a standard generalized markup language. This is a language that is advanced part of the HTML that is used or that supports the various program, electronic documents, or this SGML provides a standard for the electronic publishing that is used in a CAD, computer aided designing program, as well as the CALS program, that is computer aided acquisition and logistic support. It is used in CAD, that is a computer aided designing, as well as the CALS, that is computer aided acquisition and logistic support. Then next is ODA, that is the Office Document Architecture, that is the ANSI and ISO standard, that is the American National Standard Interchange and International Standard Organization standard for interchanging the compound office documents. In contrast to SGML, which describes the document structure, ODA provides the content and the format. So first of all, SGML provides the structure, then ODA provides the content as well as the format. Then CDA, that is Compound Document Architecture, that defines a set of ground rules, content and format and services for the interchange of compound document between applications. Then RTF, that is a rich text format file that is developed by Microsoft for interchange of text between Microsoft desktop product that is used by the various text-based application. And this is the table that provides what is the main difference between different technology that is used. So this is document interchange format, that is ODA, CDA, RTF. Advantage is that there is a general platform format or keep the format and style very easy. What are the disadvantages of this one, that is a document interchange format? There is a complex standard that requires expertise to use, that is there is more manpower is required to use the expertise. Then document structure language, that is SGML, that allows the creation of document type definition that is used for the document manipulation. What are the disadvantages? It does not support the text elements. Extensions such as high time provide the capability. This is the advantage and disadvantage of the various technology that is used for the document structure and the document interchange. This is the table that compares the structured document format. Now next is hypertext document. So we have finished right now this one, that is a structured document. First of all, we are finished with document imaging, then we are finished with structured document. Now next is hypertext document that I'm going to start, but before this let's take a break, then move to this topic, that is a hypertext document. So let's take a break first of all, then move to this topic. So come back from the break. Now let's start the session again. So next one is, or the next type of document is, or next type of digital documents is hypertext document. So what is hypertext? That is used for linking purpose. So what is the hypertext document? The value of information increases when it moves to area where some entity, individual or software programs can make use of it. So the value of information increases when it moves from one part to another, from one part to another part. It moves to the area where some entity, individual programs, software programs can make use of it. Hypertext is a way of making the document-based information more mobile. That is, it becomes more flexible. So whenever I use the hypertext, that means movement from or navigation from one part to another. So that makes the document more flexible, more mobile. Mobility is available in the document because of the following reason. Why there is a we said that there is a mobility of information. What is the main reason? The information in enterprises is seldom located on one node or server, but it is distributed throughout the organization. As I said, the same document can be used by anyone at any time. That is a hypertext document. Accessing and retrieving large monolithic document is time consuming. A good management strategy is to split them into a smaller pieces to reduce user waiting and network utilization time. For users who spend time referencing very long documents, searching for information and looking for interrelated documents, the simple viewing browsing such as scrolling up and down pages is certainly out of the question. So that is used for the hypertext or hyperlinking because we want to move, or every user who wants to move from one location to another location, from one page to another page. Then next is reuse of document fragments for composing new documents is more effective when the information stored on the individual servers and systems across an enterprise can be accessed from remote locations. That is the same information or the information that is stored on the individual system or the server that is distributed across the network, across the area, that is available or that can be accessed from the remote locations. The relationship between documents can be represented through hypermedia links, that is known as the hyperlinks. So relationship between, that is a navigation between documents, relationship between documents can be achieved whenever we use the hyperlink, that is whenever we use the hypermedia links. That allows the production of complex, richly connected and cross-reference bodies of knowledge. That is, we can move from one part to the another part. That is a hypertext document. That means navigation from one document to another document. The next one is active document. That is the next part. That is the next document. That is the active document. That is also known as the compound documents. That represents what is known as document-oriented computing. Active documents provides an interactive interface where all documents, applications, and data related to a particular task are assembled, arranged, and interlinked in such a manner that the user can focus on the task at one hand and can be shielded from non-task related issues like access, storage, data formats, location, computing, or delivery mechanisms. That is, active documents means an interactive interface where all the documents, where all the applications and the data that is related to a particular task are reassembled, that is assembled, arranged and interlinked in such a manner that the user can focus on the task at the end or at hand and can be shielded from non-task related issues like access, storage, data formats, location, computing or delivery mechanism. Active documents share the common goal of making the user's computing experience as easy and productive as possible. So, what is the role of active document? That makes the main role is that making the user computing experience is more easy and productive as possible. That is the main goal of the active documents. So we are finished with various types of documents. Now next is corporate data warehouse. That is the next part. That is, what is the meaning of corporate data warehouse, or what is a warehouse where we can store the data? That is a data warehouse. But when we talk about the corporate data house, a warehouse, that is the warehouse in which the corporate data will be stored or the company's data will be stored. So this says companies are focusing on developing data warehouses to leverage existing businesses and generate new growth opportunities. Today, virtually every transaction and minute business detail in the corporate environment is recorded in the databases in the hope that it will enable or it will give more effective decision making throughout the organization. So today, virtually every transaction and the minute business detail in the corporate environment is recorded in the databases, is recorded in the environment, that is in the hope that it will enable more effective decision making throughout the organization. Unfortunately, most of the corporate emphasis have been on the storing the data while tools for accessing and transforming data into meaningful information have been somewhat ignored. So managers are forced to spend more time on the navigating from one part to another part. So there is a requirement for storage warehouse, for data warehouse for the corporate, so that it will be used as a warehouse, it will be used as a collection of things, collection of information. For example, the financial system. In many companies, financial consolidation is done manually, with sales information from each outlet keyed into individual systems every night. The information is then sent to the corporate office. That is, in case of financial system, every individual system information is sent to the main corporate office, which is posted to the mainframe accounting system, which has no analysis capabilities. Any analysis that is completed via a second system by downloading the data, therefore proving the process to be labor intensive and slow. So there is a need for the central data warehouse that is populated with data automatically and provide the effective retrieval and use of information. So there is a need for the data warehouse, there is a need for the corporate data house or central data warehouse that is populated or that is used with the data automatically. So there is a requirement for the data that is to be analyzed automatically, so that it provides the retrieval or effective retrieval and the use of information. So then this topic or this tool, this technique comes, that is a corporate data warehouse, that is storing the data into the warehouse of the corporate level of the corporate data. The organizations buying into data warehousing for decision support. So this data warehouse can also be used as a decision support system with the following attributes, with the following features. So what are the various features? First one is it is an information based approach to the decision making. So whenever we use a data warehouse, corporate data warehouse, it is used as an information based approach that is used for a decision making. Then involvement in highly competitive, rapidly changing market with a diverse location. Then the next feature is that data stored in many systems and represented in a different way, that is represented differently. Then data stored in complex, technical, difficult to decipher formats, making conversion for analysis difficult. So that is a organization's need, that is a organization buying, that is used for the data warehouse, that is help for the decision making. And these are the various features, like this is an tool, this is an application based data that is used for the decision making, involvement with the large diverse customer care, data stored in many systems and represented differently, data stored in complex, technical, difficult to decipher formats, making it conversion for the analysis difficult. So data warehouses are necessary as a enterprise-wide data increase in both the volume and the complexity, because nowadays every organization have a huge amount of data. So there is a requirement to increase, or there is a requirement to solve the complexities that is available in the data warehouse, to establish an information system architecture so that the meaningful information will be provided to the stakeholders, competitors, any extra or any external parties that is available or that is linked with the organizations. So what is the role of data warehouse? What are the functionalities of data warehouse? So data warehouse performs the following functionalities. One of the functionalities that is provided by the data warehouse is that it allows the existing transaction and legacy system to continue in operation. So that means it allows the data warehouse, or it allows the existing system, that is the existing system is available or legacy system, to continue in operation. Then next function is that consolidate data from the various transaction system into coherent set. That is, various transactions are used to consolidate the data. So from various transactions there will be consolidation of data that is used into coherent set. Then allows analysis of vital information about current operations for decision support. That is, analysis of the important information that is used by the managers for their decision making. And once the data are stored in the data warehouse, companies can slice it in a different ways. And perform the analysis, multidimensional, what if scenarios on various aspects of companies' operations. This capability allows to gain insight into corporate finance behavior that is also not possible using disconnected operational computing system. Now, what are the types of data warehouses that is available with the organization? This is an important one. One is the physical data warehouse. That is, physically the data will be located, physically the data will be stored in a data warehouse where every data is stored about the information about the data, and it is also possible to whenever the data is stored in a physical database, so it is also possible to organize, package and pre-process the data for the end users access. So users can easily access the physical objects, physical data warehouse. Then logical data warehouse. That this contains all the metadata, business rules and processing rules that is used to scrub, organize, package and pre-process the data that is used for the data warehouse. In addition, it contains the information that is required to find and access the actual data wherever it actually resides or wherever it actually used. So logical data warehouse means using the metadata, that is data about the data, business rules and the processing logic that is required to organize, package and pre-process the data. Then data library, that is a collection of the data into the data library, that is a subset of the enterprise-wide data warehouse. Then DSS, that is a decision support system. These are the system, not the data warehouses, that provides the use of the data warehouse or that uses the data warehouse concept for their decision support system, and this is also known as executive information system. Now next is, what are the various advantages of data warehouse? That is, why we store the data, what are the various advantages that is provided by the data warehouses. One of the major advantages is that immediate information delivery. So whenever I need a data, whenever I need a information, so that is also possible whenever the data will be stored or whenever the data is stored in a data warehouse. So this is also one of the advantages, that is a data warehouse or immediate information delivery. That is whenever I want a information, so the delivery of information is possible within a minute because everything is available in my data warehouse. Simply I can fetch the data from the data warehouse. It depends on the scenario. If it is available in the physical data warehouse, if it is available in the logical data warehouse, if it is available in the EIS form, DSS form, any form. So it depends, but there is a immediate information that is used. The immediate information can be retrieved by the organization for doing the operations. Then data integration from across and even outside the organization. So whenever there is a usage of the data warehouse, whenever there is a new concept that is a warehouse is introduced, so data can be integrated. So data can be fetched or data can be supplied or data can be transported from across and even outside the organization. So any external party can support or can use the data from the data warehouse, also store the data in the data warehouse. So next advantage is that there is a data integration from across and even outside the organization. That is, the data will be integrated or the data will be collected from across and even outside the organization, that is any external party can purchase, can sell out the goods, that is from even inside the organization or across the organization. Then next advantage is that future vision from the historical trends. That is there is a future vision, that is a future analysis for the future, or future vision for the historical or historical trends. So every historical data is occupied, is stored in the data warehouse. So there will be a future vision, there will be a future enhancement for the, or there will be future requirement for the data warehouses. That is also possible in case or with the help of the data warehouse. Next is tools for looking at data in new ways. So this is the next advantage, that there are many tools that is used for looking at data in new ways. So there are color map that is used, there are new generation that is used for the color map. So the data will be covered, or the color will be, or the tools will be used to manipulate the data in different ways. Oftentimes a colored map figure they have colored map figure that speaks volume over a simple paper report. The next advantage is that freedom from is a department resource limitation. That is, there is no department, everything is available online. So if there is a logical data warehouse, so freedom from is department resource limitation. Now, what is the Indian scenario? This is not the topic that is related to this concept. In Indian scenario is that it is using www for their organizations. And what is NIC? That is National Information or Informatics Center. That is through NIC satellite based network, has various provisions at various courses or various offices. Now, that's all for this chapter. Next is your summary. That is what we have covered in this chapter. That is, there are many worldwide that is working on the daunting set of challenges for years surrounding possible values. So what is the role of digital library? That is collection of information at one place, that is in digital form, so that anyone can access from anywhere at any time. That is the digital library. Then what are the keywords? First is PDF, that is portable data file. Then TIFF, that is a tag image file format. That is a format for interchange of bitmap images. Then ITU TSS, that is International Telecommunication Union or Unit. Then Telecommunication Standardization Sector. Then ODA, that is Office Document Architecture. That is an ANSI and ISO standard for the interchange of documents. Then RTF, that is a rich text format or rich text file. Then CDA, that is a compound document architecture. Then SGML, that is standard generalized markup language. Then CALS, that is computer aided acquisition and logistics support. Then Lotus Notes, that is a famous groupware software. Then DSS, that is a decision support system. And then there is a self-test or the self-assessment questions. First of all, there is what is digital libraries, what is how it is different from traditional library, what is the role of digital libraries, then various issues that is used in digital libraries, what are the various challenges, what are the various benefits of digital libraries, what makes a digital library, that is what are the various requirements of digital libraries, and what are the various types of documents that is available in digital libraries, then warehouse and their features of warehouse. So these are the various reading books. So we have finished with this module also. Congratulations everyone, first of all. So we have wind up with this module, that is the business skills for e-commerce. So that's all for today's session. That's all for this module. That's all for this chapter. So this is the last chapter of this module. This is the winding up this module, that is the business skills for e-commerce. So that's all for today's session. In the tomorrow's class, I will be starting your next module, that is the object-oriented programming module. So we have finished with procedure programming in the last module. As a last module, that is a C programming, that is a procedure programming. From tomorrow onwards, I will be starting your next module, that is object-oriented module, and I am giving you a tentative date for its completion. The start date is tomorrow, that is 9th of April 2015, and that ending date is tentative date, that is till 10th of May or till 15th of May. That is a tentative date for the finishing this code. This is the 15th May 2015. It may be 15 to 20 but not more than 20 May. Okay, so that's all for today's session. If there is any doubts, you can ask the doubts about the notes, about the PDF, about the module, about anything, about the pacing of the module, about the approaching of the module, about the time of the module, about the speed of the module, anything you can ask from me. Yes, hello. Good afternoon. You are Joseph? Yeah, Joseph, how are you? Okay, yeah, yeah, I'm also fine. Okay, okay, okay. Object-oriented programming. Yeah, that is C++. Yes, yeah. Yeah, yeah, it's available, but the main concern is that if I am taking every theory subject, so the class becomes boring. You you understand? Because if we have done with the C programming, if we have finished with the C programming, so it's better to approach for the C++ because C++ is related to the C programming. So if we are doing only the theory subjects, so that's makes the class very boring. So it's better to use the practical approach. And C++, believe me, very interesting and very competitive and very compatible thing, that is very demanding thing in the market. So that's why I opt for the object-oriented programming. Okay, you want to use the you want to see the replacement part. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There is one module that is no there is one module that is known as e-commerce strategy. So that will be replaced. Yeah, yeah. Because we have already studied about the e-commerce. So why we are dealing with again new module with the e-commerce? It's a wastage of time, wastage of resources. Yeah, so that yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. No, no, no. I'm not getting what I was saying. Yeah, this you want the structure. Just a minute. You have yeah, yeah, yeah. You are confused. Don't worry. This is the structure you have been you want to you have able to see my screen. You are able to see my screen. Yeah, my screen, my system. So this is the you can't see right now. Okay, so in first semester there are business skills, computer system, employability, and the professional development and the procedure programming, right? And in session or semester 3, e-commerce strategies, web-based application, programming in Java. So whatever I think, there are generally most of the theory subjects in this session, in this year basically. So why can't we take or why can't we make this Edexcel very interesting by replacing some modules? It's better to replace the modules, because it is from the student point of view it is good, because if you have a knowledge of the C++, it's better to go in the market and tell, yeah, I have a knowledge of C++. So Larry question is that I'm providing the updated modules, updated schedule, no issues. Or I try to focus on these modules. I try to get the modules details. Whenever I finish with the module details, whenever I get all the information of the modules, whenever I have updated, so I will definitely share with you. Okay, so think from the market point of view. It's beneficial to you, not from my point of view. Yeah, this is because this is better whenever there is a practical class, whenever there is a theory class. So that the student will not boring, and the teacher is also not feeling bored, right? So any other suggestions, any other queries? Yeah, yeah. Day after tomorrow, I am definitely sending you an assessment or assignment. That is on Friday. All right. Any other doubts? Not an issue. We will meet tomorrow. If you have any other doubts, you will ask tomorrow. Okay. So thanks a lot. Bye bye. Okay. Bye bye.